When do you know if you're ready to walk down the aisle again or not? If you've already been married and you're looking at the second time over, or if you just look at the divorce rate among Christians in the world, you're going to see that there's a lot of challenges. And it's not just going to be love conquers all. It's not going to be that Jesus is the glue that keeps you together. It's also not going to be the fact that you didn't have sex before you got married, because you could put the greatest intention on paper, but the minute you apply application of walking out any plan and you have emotion that throws it off course, nothing that you've written down in hopes of getting from A to Z is going to pan out. It's the reason why coaching is only half the battle, because if you're looking at the situation from today and you're not addressing the reasons that led you up until this very moment, then anything that you try to execute is just going to fall to the wayside if you wake up depressed, anxious, if you have an argument with your partner, if something goes wrong with the kids, God forbid work doesn't go as planned. So all of these turmoil type situations, the traumas, the tribulations of every day, we were actually warned about in the Bible. It says that we should expect them. It also says that to the degree that we guard our heart, we're also preparing ourselves for choosing a mate that can be a lifelong partner without further damaging our inner psyche. A holistic transformation can only occur when somebody is willing to look back at why they do the things that they do. Childhood trauma is the reason why most of our marriages end in divorce. Childhood trauma is the reason why we can stay in an abusive relationship and not find a way out. And so here's a quick question for you. If you're dating somebody and that person happens to believe that, love is holding hands and walking along the beach, or it's just snuggling up on the couch in front of a warm fire, you might want to run, or at least try to engage a higher threshold of conversation that could talk about potential problems, because they're always going to be there. If we think that just falling in love and going through the motions of day in and day out is going to be enough to take us to 50 years, then we're also not ready or willing to be a conduit of change. Change is possible for every single person, but it will require that you look within and you figure out how you're wired. So brain pathways are actual parts. And when you choose a partner, it's really important to have conversations on deep subject matter. And that's going to first entail engaging some eye contact. Secondly, it's going to draw parameters around what intimacy is for each of you individually. It's going to weed out lust with the approach to get to love, but knowing that that's going to take some time, because most people will not reveal their true colors until they feel the other person is vetted, vested, and trustworthy. Because love can only be built upon if you accept somebody and if your word stands true. And that always is proven through action. So mere talk, the first few months, I would say even 6 months, not going to prove anything. You'll want to see your partner in a moment of crisis. You'll want to see your partner in a moment of quick decision making. And for a lot of us, if they can pray you through something. I know the biggest upset for myself has been hoping that somebody would be on the same level emotionally, intellectually, and spiritually. And there's going to be seasons throughout your relationship where it's not going to be compatible or 50-50. It might be 80-20. But it does have to have a strong foundation in which you can build upon from the get-go. And it's not all love and roses. And when two people get together and they're trying to figure it out, if they don't have the Jesus piece, okay, they're going to look for the monetary things. But these fundamental commonalities are going to be values. And they're going to be, I don't understand why a person would stay in an abusive relationship. And then have a talk about that. I personally couldn't date somebody that didn't understand the trauma brain or the psychological behavior in persons. And I would definitely caution anybody that has come from a traumatic background. You will have to partner with somebody that gets it. Your very brain did not form the way that normal brains do. So that means if you have autoimmune issues, if you have chronic pain, if you have chronic anything, you will have to choose your partner wiser than the average. Talking about guard your heart, you will absolutely have to make sure that they understand psychosomatic illness and how it has played out in your life, how you have grappled with it, and how you have overcome it, and where you are at in your journey right now. Partnership is a big deal. Who you walk down the aisle with will absolutely make or break you. And you don't want to be blaming yourself for making a wrong decision if you didn't do some of this hard work and introspection beforehand. It's possible that you can look way back in the past, figure it out, heal it, and prepare yourself today for your future.